What up, what up, what up? Good morning, everybody. Lonnie here, Charts and Labs. It is March 3rd. We're an hour, well, no, hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes into the market so far. And this is actually the second video that I made today. I did not, I recorded it. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the dogs being a little excessive and a couple phone calls interrupting the meeting. And it was okay because I ended up not making a trade, partly out of being distracted with other stuff going on, and also with a lot of the move in the market actually happening prior to opening. So we are gonna go turn this off. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. I want to be in it, and we're gonna look at this one. Share. I want to be able to see what I'm doing though. All right, so just to make sure everybody knows, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. We're just trying to get some familiarity with the market so you're comfortable investing and trading in it as you feel comfortable. So March is a fun month. What I'm doing is I've been trading since December in this small account that I started with like 330 bucks. I added like 160 bucks at one time. I've withdrawn some profits. I've moved profits. But what I was doing was mostly I was taking my profits. I was trying to do every week, every other week as I got a decent amount. I took my profits and put them in TXC. I was building up grid bots. I was building up my coin holding, and that's kind of where I was going with that. I'm part of the TXC program. I've been a miner since December of 24. Really like the project. My dad's been very involved in it, and we both like it. Normally, in my past history, I've been more of a trader. I've only stayed in the top 20 for crypto, and I've never really held on to anything super long. In hindsight, I wish I would have because I've bought in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana at some very low amounts compared to what they are now. I had the 80 cent XRP, and I took my profits, and I can't be mad at it. But I typically didn't buy and hold very long. And TXC is the first project that I really got on that I really like, as far as that being the Made America kind of crypto and the honest money and the community currency, small business stuff, all kind of stuff that resonates with me. So I've liked this project. Uh, February has always been a tough month for me, trading wise, even prior to this. I was just looking at how big my call would have been up today. I initially didn't make a play today, and you can see that all the way through. My account was down from this Tesla position that I got. I added a little bit yesterday, but here's what we got cooking. I was skipping action today for the most part, and I ended up making a play. But what I'm doing is I started this account pretty close to about what this is. I think I have a little bit of a nod in the 720. Oh no, I think I'm a little bit behind on this. I need to add some to this. Um, to probably this one. I need to get this guy up to. Need to add like 50 bucks to this one. Um, and we could always give it a cushion. Maybe I count these ones. Anyway, I'm doing grid bots. So these are a tool that you can use in ordering. Grids are multiple orders and like automatic order placement kind of thing. Um, and so utilizing this tool, we bought Pinex. Both offer this for free, included with the exchange. Um, these are the placed orders. So I have an 88 grid, 18 and 60 is 78. So it has room to place some more orders as it moves. But what the grid bot does is it automatically is operating based on the percentages of profit that I'm looking for, which is based on the spread of the price range that I wanted to operate plus the grids. It comes up with a profit point per transaction kind of thing. And As a buy order fills, it automatically places a sell. As a sell order fills, it automatically places a buy. This creates arbitrage where you buy low, sell high, and then rebuy low. And that's where you're getting these profits from. So when I come in here and I click, I turn off my reinvest profits automatically, and then I turn it back on just so that I make sure that they're all in there. And we can see that I'm over $1 in the last day that is created through arbitrage. This arbitrage, if it's able to maintain this for a whole year, is 151% APY. Impressive. This one was going on prior. Let's go arbitrage and turn that on. This one's been going on for almost 3 days, and it's up to 471. So if you're only making like $1 a day, it's not crazy. But if it can do $1 a day every single day, it's going to ultimately make a lot of money, especially if the price eventually goes up for Texacoin. And you can see that there are some buys are happening, some action is happening. That's fantastic. But overall, the price is very down right now. It was following this channel for a while. It's trying to break out of it. This one's not really holding. This one's obviously not holding, and this one broke a while ago. But it is in a little bit of a channel, trying to get up into this 26, 28 range, trying to break free in that. So the price is going, got some negative sentiment, dark clouds, waiting for some clarity. Hopefully today there's some good news coming, maybe not kind of thing. But in time, I am trading to beat those bots. Let me see what I have. I think it is unsettled 665, so I'm up to 8. So yeah, but I might actually count it for not active. I'll figure that out. But another one that I jumped into, where there's a lot of action in these AI trading bots. It's kind of the thing right now. And there's a lot of them that have a lot of big time red flags where they're probably paying their daily profits out of signups and creating more of a pyramid scheme, and then acting like it's trading, and there's not a clear proof of trading, like audited books or showing of the account and the exchange and growing, any kind of audited trade logs of sort. But I found this one from a friend recommending it to me, and I like it. So far, we've done 2.54% this week, which is just Monday and Tuesday. This one only trades Monday through Friday, which is the highest liquidity, highest likelihood of success. Makes sense instead of trading over the weekend and risking losing. So I like that. And we can see the live log, 68,750.77 is when it opened. It made $25.04. That's actually a big profit. It's making some pretty big profits on some of these. A lot of these, like this one's only 69 cents. This one's pretty big. Some of these are fairly big profits. And then this one, of course, is a very small profit, but good job. Small profit again. And then a couple of losses coming through the ticker. Loss. Hopefully it keeps the losses small. But this is nice to see, one, that it does report losses, and it fluctuates, and it's not overly too consistent, because that would kind of be unauthentic. So got this account in a similar range that I have this account, and kind of doing a competition. If I try to always get 22% a day, and ironically, over the history of this one, if you go into their, I guess, where do we want to see? Where do we want to see? Trading. View details, all, year, 6 months, 3 months, month. So for the last month, they done 18.4. Last 30 days specifically, 17.08. And I think if you come into this, it's this one right here, you can come into the presentation and see about the project. And it already took me there. So historically, it's averaging 22.04. That's kind of ironic. That's also my profit goal target, but I shoot for 22% a day. So let's see what I got today. Investing. Does it show me my? We have to go to account. We want to see my history. I did get my profit today. I could have been up a lot more, but you can see I bought one at 184, one at 182, one at 171, and I was just about to buy um, one more at 150, and then I held off, and then I almost bought one at 140, and then I held off, and then it took off. And then I was thinking about maybe trying to hold for longer, but I didn't want to fight it, and I was on the phone. So we got 171 plus 182 plus 184 divided by 3. My average was 179 and I sold at 222. So 222 divided by 179. I think I remember that actually now. 24% profit today. Yesterday I got 27 and some change, or about 27. Today I got 24. So doing good on that. The only thing that I messed up is I took some money and I added it into Tesla. I took about 130 bucks, 35 times 3, 35 times 3. Took $105. Maybe it was actually 108, and added some Tesla yesterday, and it dropped down big time today. These events that happen, whether they be a crisis or like an attack in a war or whatever. One thing that I've noticed is a lot of times they need the satellite afterwards, and Elon's always quick to do Starlink or offer some type of help and aid, and he does that, and then Tesla typically runs because they get the recognition. So hoping to see uh, this recover. I almost bought some more. I thought about just dumping to get it to go. Maybe we will. Let's see. Let's go to Mag 7. Could Tesla run up? It would be kind of silly. So I have 258. It's at 19. I could almost buy like 10. I think I could buy 11. Let's just see. 19, 258 divided by, we'll just do 18. I could buy 14 of them. If it comes down, 258 divided by 17, I could buy 15. So if I placed 15, I'd have 19 total. And we do 258 plus 240 divided by 19. My average would be 26. And I would need to trade it around that. Just trying to see if I could even get my average within range to where it would be worth trying to grab some or dump on a bunch. And I think it's going to be lost. So sorry for that math as I was talking to myself and trying to add it into my head. Um, it's funny that it's not tracking very well here, but the low today was 12. So if I would have bought then, it could have gone up, because now it's up 30% since then, and then there would have been enough to make it. So, but anyway, what made me get into the play was here. I tracked these big doji moves there in this wick. And so I saw the small body and wicks. I tracked this line, broke above it, and this is when I took that play, made my 24%, got out. Now that QQQ is fully recovered, you can see that I left a bag on the table. And I had a feeling it was going to try to get back to 598 or 600 was possible. I thought for sure 596 was on the table. And I think I sold at 594 is when I was out, because I got the 595 call for today. And I did a 0 day, which is why, I was quick to get out. I sold this guy at 222. poised to benefit from Iran conflict. Yeah, we know that. I sold this one at 222, and it looked like it already hit a high. Well, that was what it opened at. 128. Didn't I see? I almost bought in that 140 range, and that would have been really cool. But it's trading at 360 now, 365. $140 per three. You know, that 300 bucks would have been really cool. Um, Not mad at it though. I got my trade, caught the good momentum, and I didn't even have to test this, didn't have to test this, didn't see. This is Tesla. I'm not even looking at the right one. Hold on. Option indices. The similar chart is why it messed me up. Look at that, almost mirrored. But I got out on this one, didn't have to play any of this. That would have been, up. It probably was. This one was probably the highest price, and then it came down, and now it's just barely getting back to what it was at this 380. So, wasn't gonna trade. What I saw today was the opened up way down, huge drop, and then tried to recover. This would have been the bounce play off opening for the overreaction. And then that was down, and I was waiting for confirmation. I don't like trading in the first 15 minutes because it's too unpredictable. There's a lot of fake outs. I mean, unless you catch like here, if we did the 1 minute, just to kind of show you the crazy of the open. So it opened up down here, really. Really, it was technically opening. Said we opened at triggered that the first sell was what yesterday's close was a 608, and that just it wasn't really accurate. You or I didn't get that play. It opened up at like 590. Well, the low is 595. I think I saw 596 or something in that range is what was really the first trade by the time retail was getting active. And then we bounced up. This one came all the way up over to 602 on the second minute. So that was a huge run up. 596, 602, shot back down, 597. And it was in that 598 range that we were trying to figure out what was going on. And then this started to slide. And this right here is a big time shorting pattern where this, you establish this and then this break. So like on this one, there would have been a short opportunity, but I didn't take it and it was just too much on the edge. And I probably could have got my 20%. It would have been very close. And then it would have came back up and I would have been down, would have had to average down, could have got out here, average down, could have got down here, but then theta would have been eating it. And then at this point, by and this is technically 10 minutes in, it's now established itself around this line and it just kind of tracked around it. So it would have been later the big drop down to the 591 level. Would have finally printed. So like when this started, this break would have probably been the right one. This doji, this break could have entered here and played this here. Again, very quick, not a lot on the table, and that's what I was concerned about. I was anticipating this W come down, we down again and up. And that's what I saw happen with this doji. And when it broke that line that I drew on this W. So this kind of, if you watch this out, you kind of go from here, dink, 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 and we're back to here. And that's what I played that for. I just didn't take the full profit. I didn't leave myself all of the room that I could have had. I took my 20%. I'm very comfortable taking 22%. I think those are good moves and they stack up quickly if you add them safely and you're not trying to hold for a full day, especially on 0-day stuff. So a little bit of a different kind of entry compared to the orb, but it was using the previous range as a liquidity zone. So knowing that it was really wanting to come back up here, plus if you brought this up to look, you can see that today's options, the max pain is all the way up at 608. Still, This updates every 15 minutes. And that's just from so many calls being sold yesterday and so many puts being bought today, that the max pain is still in this kind of range for it to get all the way back into above 600. And a break of 600 would be kind of crazy to see. But in my eyes, I think we went from the 616 to 608 to six, uh, in that 606, 608 range. I think today's going to close around 600 to create that availability for 590 or 610 or the 595 or 605. The volatility is what they're taking advantage of. So playing it with them and not trying to go against them. I think today's we're gonna get back to 600 or so, maybe 602, maybe. I might play a strangle where I take $100 call and $100 put late in the afternoon and try to say we're either dropping more or going up. So there's my update. We are up despite having the bad entry in Tesla, hoping that Tesla gets a little bit of some fun for this. I don't think I'm going to enter anything with them. Hopefully it's a big up tomorrow and I can get out. Like I said, I bought the one last week, was kind of a lotto ticket that I was playing separately at $140. It was 1.4 was the contract price. And then I bought these three at 35. So I would like for it to get to 40 and I would call it good if it got to point 40 and I could get out. So that's that. Let's see, let's check on TXC. There's some buying going on. I think there's some people getting excited about the project. There's value in it right now. I think we could even say both of these 4 fours are just not active right now. And I hate to change them. I got to figure out something to make sure that TXC is getting its participation in this uh, bot trilogy challenge. Me versus a grid bot, very simple, automatic, buying low, selling high as the market fluctuates. And then you also have the interactive trading bot that is using algorithms and market flow. It made $6 yesterday. That was pretty cool. And or $3 yesterday. I don't remember what exactly it was, but still profiting today, up 2.56% on the week. It was 1.2% yesterday, so another good day for it. Volatility is what these need for these high frequency trading. Volatility is what profits. So for those that are trying to buy and hold, you really don't want volatility. You want consistency. You want either to go down, pivot, and then go up and just hold and watch it go up. But as you're actively trading, you really want this volatility of you know, sell here, you probably end up selling more, and then buying here, selling here, buying here, selling here, buying here, selling here. That's how you accumulate, and that's how you can profit during the fluctuations. So that's why the grid bots are very, very cool to use, and there's just nothing to them. You just need the price to move. So know your tools, know your options, and invest wisely. Make great decisions, and hopefully everybody's making tons of money. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Glad we ended up making a trade today and made some profit. And see you guys again tomorrow.